Hello, this is Activist Victor Hillary. I'm just going to make a bit of a rant about Match. Well, not the site itself, but the way I've been treated on here. If you don't know, I've recently broke up with my girlfriend. Don't be too upset. I think it was time. We just didn't connect anymore, and there wasn't a whole lot of good times in there. But anyways, I've joined online dating, and I did this a month ago, and I'm incredibly upset with how I've been treated on Match. It's disappointing to say the least. First of all, let's look at the sent inbox, and some of these, and I just fucking clicked the wrong button. Sorry. Some of these, I mean, we look at the sent counter. This is 58. Oh, fuck, the brightness. Okay, hold up a sec. Where's the... I'm gonna get in settings. Okay. Advanced settings. There we go. Now let's get this brightness down a little bit. That's a little bit better. Okay, I can just cut the part out that has it. Now we look at this. In a month, 19 people have viewed me, which I guess isn't so bad. I've had 2 likes, which isn't so bad. But here's what I don't like. Sent. 58 emails have been sent by me. And how many have I gotten back? And by the way, some of these have been timed out or deleted because the person read it and they didn't respond, or they didn't read it and they were online, and I checked. Yeah, I'm a little bit obsessive like that, but I really, I don't have a whole lot better to do during finals times, and I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of a life, so yeah. But anyways, I don't like this because I should have at least gotten 1 email back by now. I mean, I sent 60 freaking emails. I'd say that I should have gotten at least 1 person to respond to one of them. Now, let's check the content of them to make sure I wasn't a total pervert. By the way, here's some emails that have timed out or I've deleted because the person either didn't read it and was online, or they read it and didn't respond, or they read it, checked my profile, and didn't say it, follow up. So Connections is a better situation. I sent it to 80 people or thereabouts, and I've gotten nothing in response. Hey, your favorite. Okay, that probably could have been a little bit better, but by looking at your profile, I misspelled it. I can tell you seem to be into sports. What's your favorite sport? Okay, there's nothing bad about that. Hey, you said you like the Chicago Bulls in your profile. Who's your favorite player on the team? That's nothing bad there. I mean, I'm trying to start a conversation. I'm using small talk, and I'm addressing the fact that I actually read their profile in my message. Earlier on, I did do cut and paste because I don't know why, but I just did. I'm interested. I looked at your profile and I'm interested in talking to you a bit and getting to know you a little bit better. Please respond to this email if you're interested. Thanks. I mean, maybe a little bit not as good, but it's not bad. I mean, it's better than some guys who send pictures with their fucking dicks. I mean, I didn't do that. I didn't say, hey, want to fuck on the first date or something, or want to fuck, or hey, you're my dream girl, let's get married, or hey, let's go out right away. You know, nothing like that. So the fact that nobody has responded is really disappointing. And I'm sure, and some of them have legitimate reasons. You haven't been online in forever. Okay, fine. If you're not online, you can't very well respond, can you? That's fair enough. Although, that's another problem I'll get to in a minute. Look how many of these people have not been online recently. I mean, it's a little bit ridiculous, don't you think? This person, no. This person, no. I mean, come on. How many of these people haven't been online? Is anybody ever on here? But what makes me really aggravated is, I mean, okay, Mac. Okay, no, not you. No, fuck this. I am choosing, well, it illustrates my point pretty well that nobody's ever on here, which really sucks. But active within 24 hours. Well, that's not cool, right? I mean, when did I send the email again? Well, it's May 13th, right? May 13th right now. So if I sent it before May I sent it before May 12th. You should have been able to read it. So you obviously either are sucking at checking your emails, or you have something against me. Probably sucking at checking emails, but that's not a good skill to have. May 10th. Okay, that's not cool, but I guess just one person, right? I mean, maybe they're really popular. Maybe they have throngs of followers. Unlikely, but maybe. Oh, here's another person who did this little stint. Well, that's not cool at all. In fact, I mean, well, that's just two people, right? I mean, God, maybe I just picked two really bad people. And this one has a legitimate excuse. And I'm sorry if I seem a little bit obsessed here, but it's proving my point that, I mean, active within 5 days. Well, when did I send this again? Okay, actually, that's legitimate. Okay. I'm going to have to delete some of these. Active within 24 fucking hours. When did I send this email? May 8th. Okay, 3 people who have been online and have ignored my email. Active in 3 days. That's 4 people. 4 out of 4 people who have been online have not read that in this list have not read my fucking email. And this person had a whole month to do it. And look at this. Active within 24 hours. Okay, that's a bit of a problem, right? What's the point of being on a dating website if you're going to go online and ignore people's fucking messages? That's not right. And it's first of all, besides being stupid, because you should definitely at least check out all the people who make a stride towards talking to you, because, I mean, I'm sure you have fucking throngs of followers. You have hordes of boys coming to your door, and you have so many people to choose from that you have the luxury of not having to check out every one. No, that's not the case. You should be grateful that somebody's interested, and at least and you're very unintelligent, I must say, to not at least look at the email. I mean, what's the point of that? I mean, you're probably not getting a whole lot. Why don't you take what you get and at least look at it? You don't have to come bashing at my door because I paid attention to you. That would be a little bit needy, but actually not a lot needy, but you should at least look at the email and check out my profile and see if there's any chemistry, if there could be any chemistry. You didn't even look at the email. You didn't even look at the fucking email. What the heck is the point of being on here if you're not going to check your messages? When someone reaches out to you, you're just going to not even try to look at it? Get off the site then, because you're putting guys like me in a bind. I mean, we see that you ignored us and we don't know what to think. And not all of us have as much hope as I have. I don't have a lot of hope, but some people just want to be acknowledged, and you're actually making. I don't know how I want to say this, but you know what I'm saying? It's why are you on here? And because first of all, if you're not going to take the opportunities that come at you, why don't you just close your damn account? Why are you on here if you're not going to look at the messages that people send you? I mean, that's the whole point of online fucking dating, right? Is to check out the messages that people send you and send messages to other people and try to start talking and then see if you can lead to something further. Maybe after you get to know each other a bit, you're like, hey, want to meet up? And then you date for a bit, and if you're compatible, you go a step further. That's the idea, right? Well, you're not even letting that happen because you're ignoring messages that people send to you. So you just shut those avenues down. Nobody's ever going to date you if you're just going to ignore everybody who tries. And if you're going to ignore everybody who tries, get the fuck off Match.com. Get the fuck off every site. You should not be ignoring people. If you're going to do that, you obviously don't have the right standards. You're not meant for dating. So don't even be on here. You're actually just wasting our time. We spend all this time, writing these messages, want to talk. Hey, you said you like astrophysiology. I'm an astronomy fan myself, but I've never heard of that particular field. What exactly does that involve? I spent a few minutes on that. And with all these emails, that's a lot of time. And I put thought into it. I looked at the profile. I asked a question that was related to the profile and tried to start a conversation. So clearly I did try. And this is how my actions are rewarded. My message is ignored by multiple people. I mean, that really gives me a whole lot of motivation to keep trying, right? I mean, some guys might have actually given up on offline dating, so this is the perfect way to make them feel motivated to continue, is to ignore their messages. It's incredibly rude, and it's not motivating in the slightest, so don't do it. It's not cool, and it does waste our time. It wastes our thought. Why would we, and it doesn't make us want to do more in the future. We put a bunch of thought into these emails and they just get ignored. Well, why do we want to waste a bunch of time in the future if they're just going to be ignored? Why don't we just make it as simple as possible? Okay, enough bitching about that. Another problem I have is this. Not online. I mean, how many people are not online on this fucking site? Active within 1 week? Well, you're... Okay, no, you're a jerk. You're a jerk. I don't even want to fuck you. I don't want to date you anyways. I mean, look at this. Look at how many of these people haven't been on within the past month. Because I think there's one that says active within like 3 weeks if you've been on within the past month. I mean, and you can see this. Look at how many of these have been read. Absolutely none of them. And these are ones that that somebody went online and ignored my email, didn't read it, and I gave up on hoping that they ever would, and just deleted it. Or they did read it and they didn't follow up, or they did read it, they looked at my profile and didn't like what they see. Now look how small this number is compared to this number. Nobody reads these emails. It's ridiculous. And that's largely because nobody's online, which is really disappointing. I mean, what's the point of being on a website to meet people if nobody is ever on? I mean, why? What's the point? What is this? How does this benefit anybody? This is what I don't like about this. There really should be some feature that eliminates people who haven't been on within a month from the daily matches or stuff. Or maybe they should be like half and half. Half have been on, half haven't been on. I mean, if you're not going to try, you probably don't even deserve to get the attention anyways. So, what the heck? I mean, you know what I'm saying, right? If you're not even going to check your email or ever log on, why are you even on the online dating community? I mean, you're kind of just taking up space, and people looking at you are just wasting time because you're never going to see the message anyway. So the site shouldn't give you priority, is what I'm saying. They should put other people who actually do put effort into this in the spotlight and give them like the daily matches or this whatever it is, or this feature right here where you like them and then can send a note. You know what I'm saying, right? These people who haven't been on here shouldn't get the spotlight, but they do. A lot of these people have not been on in a long time. But here's another problem. Can you tell this from this? I don't know if you can. I mean, it certainly doesn't say active within X amount of weeks. Daily matches. Well, fuck that. If you, you can't click on the profile. You can just click like or dislike and see if you want to meet them. But you can't actually see when the last time they logged in is, so you don't know if you're emailing the most active Match.com person on a damn site, if you're emailing somebody who just signed up for a bet and never is intended to use the profile. So that's a time waster, and it's some demotivationalizer too, because when nobody's ever online, you really don't feel like you want to try and send people things. So this is just a little bit ridiculous. I mean, this is a site flaw. They should be telling you easily, hey, this person never is online, so if you're looking for a prompt response, you should look elsewhere. Thank you. That would be nice to know. But they don't do that. So you have to waste your time and your motivation and all this other effort just contacting people who never are going to respond because they're never on the site. Isn't there a better way? I mean, it's really just, it doesn't benefit anybody. And I know the site cannot control that nobody's ever on here. I don't blame them for that. but I do blame them for not making it readily apparent that these people are never on here. There should be a sign. It should show up right on the daily matches. Last active X weeks ago. That would be nice to know. That would be very nice to know if somebody was actually active within the reasonable past, so you know if there's any chance of actually trying to reach out to them. Or any reason to reach out to them. I mean, you could spend your effort better elsewhere if you knew that this person was never going to try and not to give it a shot at it. So, in summary, I don't like the Match.com experience. Not a lot of, some of it's through the site, some of it's not. The people in there are not cool in some ways. A lot of them have ignored my emails, and maybe they didn't receive them. I know someone said I can't receive emails yet, but then what's the point of having the email feature if some people cannot receive emails? You know what I'm saying, right? I thought that was how you're supposed to meet people, but if they can't receive emails, then why the fuck even have it in the first place? You know, it's like having a feature on an app that only half the people are capable of using. Why even have it? Because no one's going to be able to utilize it. And second of all, the fact that people don't respond is incredibly disrespectful, and it's not motivational at all, and it's pointless. I mean, really, there's not a whole lot keeping me coming back when I send 58 fucking emails, which is probably more than most guys send. Actually, no, 80 emails. I sent emails to 80 people trying to reach out to them, and I don't get one response back. Now, I'm not expecting to get 80 people or even 50 people to respond back. But would 5 be too much to ask? I mean, 1 out of how much is that? I don't even know. I'm going to have to think. 1 out of 16 people, in which I think half the people log on, half the people read the email, half the people check the profile, half the people like it. That's reasonable, right? I mean, half of them, that's 1/2 is going to actually log on, 1/2 is actually going to read the email. So that's a 1/4. 1/2 is actually going to check the profile, so that's an 1/8, and 1/2 is actually going to like what they see and follow up. 1 out of 16. That's a fair amount. But this is a couple steps down the half ladder. This is less than 1 in 64. So that's incredibly disappointing. So that's really that's not motivating at all. And it's not stricken by odds, and it just doesn't give me any reason to come back. And it doesn't make me think highly about the community either, because if everybody's just going to ignore me, why would I like the community? I mean, I don't see any redeeming qualities. I don't see a whole lot of redeeming qualities about a bunch of people who never acknowledge my existence. If I wanted that, I'd go back to high school. I don't want that anymore. I don't want to deal with this anymore. That's why I never go on Facebook, because people never acknowledge my existence. Even when I said, can someone please acknowledge my existence? Literally, I said that because I was that desiring of attention, and people would just ignore me. Like, it's supposed to prove something. Like, we're supposed to prove something by not acknowledging somebody's existence. Now, I know that that's not the case here, but I do kind of take it personally that everybody's ignored me. I mean, is it something about me that's not right? And on that note, how dare it be something about me? How dare you be that prejudiced that you judge somebody you don't even know? Okay, I'm probably taking this a little bit too personally, but how can you not take it at least slightly personally? I mean, for God's sakes, 80 people have not responded to my emails. That's hard not to take personally, at least in some way. And second of all, nobody's ever on here. So, and I know the site cannot be in control of that. I don't expect them to be. I don't blame the site for that at all. But I do blame the fact that they don't make it readily apparent that people are not on here. You know, if I look for somebody and if I do these daily matches or these dislike bar thing here, and half the people on here are never online, I'm wasting my fucking time. And I don't want to waste my time. I really don't. My time is valuable, and when my time gets wasted and I don't get anything to show for it, I lose motivation. I'm not an incredibly motivated person sometimes anyway, so this really does not help me. Now, I'm not saying I base my success on whether or not I get responses on Match.com. That'd be pretty desperate and pretty pathetic, but I would feel a little bit better if I actually did get some responses, but I'm never going to get responses if the people I'm trying to contact are never on the site. And that's why the site should not prioritize these people. They should make an effort to deprioritize these people. Not put them completely in the shadow, but put the people who actually give a shit and are online recently in a little bit in the spotlight. I mean, people who haven't logged on within a month, just like maybe put 2 of them in these things. 2 of them in 18 and like 10 more who actually have been on within the past month. That way, people are actually going to be using their time wisely and getting more bang for their buck because they're going to be going after people who are going to actually maybe see their emails. I'm not saying I blame the people who are never online for not being online. You don't have to be online if you don't want to. But the site shouldn't prioritize these people. They shouldn't put them in the spotlight if nothing's ever going to come out of it for the people who go after them. And they definitely should make an easy way for you to tell whether or not this is actually going to be the case before you click on the button and look at the profile. So that's my rant on Match.com. Hopefully other sites will do better. Hopefully this will start doing better, but I've kind of given up a little bit. I signed up a month ago and I have nothing to show for it. That's nice, right? I got that good. I reference Caddyshack and say, well, I got that going for me, which is good. But that's not anything going for me. I don't have anything going for me. I won't receive total consciousness on my deathbed like Carl will from the Dalai Lama. That's not going to happen for me. I don't have anything to show for this. And that's just really disappointing. Maybe I'm taking this a bit too personally. In fact, probably I am. But it's really hard not to take it personally when I've been ignored a lot in my life. And this is just the same, it's kind of invoking past emotions. I mean, it really does disappoint me that, like, out of all these people, maybe like 60% of them, or like 70% of them never even are logged on. And out of the people who actually check the emails, like 70% of those don't even fucking bother to look at the profile. They just look at the email and write me off immediately like they are princesses and have a right to judge people before they even try to get to know them, which is really prejudicial. And then the people who do check never respond to your email. I mean, at least the people who checked the profile, they did what they had to. Maybe they didn't like what they saw. That's fine. But the people who who either read the email and didn't respond to the profile or ignored I'm just going to say this again. 70% of the people are never online. Out of the people that are online, 50% of them don't read the email. And out of the people who do read the email, 70% of them don't even bother to check the profile. They just write me off based on their first impression, which is really mature behavior for adults. By the way, that's really mature to base all your judgment on a first impression. I know we all do it, but it's really mature, and I'm being sarcastic, of course. I know we all do it, but it doesn't make it right. And then the people who do look at the profile never respond. Now, the only leeway I can really give is the people who do look. I guess if they don't like what they see, they shouldn't respond. It's better than leading somebody on, right? But the people who look at the email and don't even look at the profile, they're jerks. And the people who don't even check the email when they're online are idiots because they're turning down potential opportunities. And they shouldn't even be on here if they're not going to put an effort into it, is my stance. So that's my view on Match. And I don't know. Hopefully this summer I'll be able to meet some people offline. I'd like to do that, but it's daunting. But I think it's a little bit less more, but better than this. This is ridiculous. By the way, Match. I probably shouldn't. I'll cover this up. This is called a response. People on here, these are called responses. Okay, these are responses. These are people asking me questions, which unfortunately I didn't respond to because I didn't have an account that I could respond to somebody at the time, and they're a little bit young, maybe. I probably could respond to these still. But these are people actually reaching out, something that has not been done on Match. At all. Nobody has fucking reached out to me. At all. Nobody. And these are people responding. These are auto responses, so we can get rid of them. But these are people who respond to the messages, which nobody has done on Match at all. People on Match, look at this and take notes, because that's what you should be doing. That is what you should be doing. You should be reaching out to people, not just letting them do all the work, because that is not cool. I hate relationships where I have to do all the work. Ow. Fucking funny bone. Because it makes me feel like I'm not valuable. Like, I'm not worth your time to do something effort, you know? And I've had a lot of that. I've had a lot of people not reciprocating, and it doesn't make me feel like I'm valued. And that's not what you should be aiming for. And second of all, you know, when somebody makes an effort to reach out to you, you should read the fucking email and you should fucking respond. It is common courtesy to do that. And I'm not saying you should respond if there's no chance, but if you think there's some chance, for hell, you know, even look at the fucking profile and see if there's a chance. Don't just look at someone's picture and say, I don't like that guy. Fuck him. Fuck him. Let's collude against him on a poker table. That's kind of like what that's saying. I mean, I shouldn't say it, but, you know, it's not cool. You know, you're not even going to look at someone's profile and see if you could get along with them before you write them off as not being suitable for you. I mean, like, I'm not whatever ethnicity or not what height or I'm not what religion you're looking for, so that's excuse to just write me off? Come on. That's not cool. That's not fucking cool, man. That's not cool at all. In fact, that is uncool. It's dick move. Dick move. So seriously, people, take some fucking notes. Learn to respond and learn to reach out. Now, I'm doing the same thing here, but at least I had an excuse. I couldn't actually respond to these people at the time. So, yeah, I have an excuse. You all can't have a legitimate excuse. And, you know, if they're not registered and cannot respond to the emails that are being sent, why don't you put a little thing on there that says this account is not registered, so don't expect an email. How about you do that? Huh? Son of a bitch. I'm sorry. I don't like being treated like this. This is very disrespectful, and it's hurtful. It hurts my feelings when people do this to me. And they shouldn't do it. They shouldn't do this to people. This is not polite behavior. And, you know, I would only wish this on my worst enemies. I'm partly because I'm a vengeful person, but partly because it's that bad that only my worst enemies would deserve it. You know, this is how bad this is. I mean, this is just torture. I mean, this is pseudo-torture, basically, because, I mean, it's just like you're trying so hard and nobody seems to care. I don't like that. I mean, I felt that in my life before. I felt it in my life where I tried really hard to reach out to people and they didn't even reciprocate. They didn't have the fucking courtesy to even answer my text messages. You know, how hard is it to answer a text message? And how valuable does it feel when a bunch of people don't respond to your fucking text messages? They don't even respond at all. They just ignore you. How does that make you feel? How would that make you feel if almost everyone you knew did that to you? It'd make you feel like crap, wouldn't it? Well, this is how it makes me feel when you people do this to me. And I'm not saying that you owe it to me to respond. You don't. But you should at least look at my fucking profile and try and let me know that you at least considered what I said and didn't just write it off. Okay? That's not too much to ask. And I've been going for 30 minutes. Oh well.